Are American car makers losing the race in the world's largest auto market? It seems so, as Chinese companies are racing ahead in electric vehicle technology and software. While US automaker sales have plummeted from their peak, local Chinese rivals are surging forward. What's driving this shift? So this is what's happening. GM's sales in China, including those of joint ventures it maintains in the country, have dropped from a high of 4 million vehicles in 2017 to 2.1 million in 2023. This was lower than US sales of 2.59 million for the first time since 2009. Earnings from China, GM's second largest market, fell by 34% to $446 million last year. This includes a 54% drop in the fourth quarter alone. Several factors have caused the decline of US automakers in China. Chinese automakers learned a lot from foreign car makers because a long-time law required them to partner with local companies to operate in China. Later, those successful Chinese companies bought foreign brands like British MG and Lotus and Volvo from Sweden. Chinese brands like BYD, which is investment from Berkshire Hathaway, also received a lot of outside investment. The Chinese market has changed a lot over the past decade. Cars are now seen as rolling computers or smartphones. New companies like cell phone makers Xiaomi and Huawei have even entered the car market. This is why American automakers shouldn't give up on China, despite their recent sales problems, according to Bill Russo, a former Chrysler executive who now runs Automobility, a counseling firm in Shanghai. These changes in the market are here to stay, he said. The Beijing Motor Show opened last week for the first time since 2018, showcasing the largest and most diverse array of electric and hybrid vehicles in the world. So how many of these vehicles will ever make it to the US, and what stood out at the world's biggest and most advanced auto show? As expected, Chinese automakers stole the show among the 1,500 auto and parts makers exhibiting this week. They showcased new models from brands like BYD, BAIC, Changan, Chery, Denza, Dongfeng, Exceed, Fangcheng, Bao, GAC, GMW, iCar, Lynk & Co., MG, Mona, Neo, Onvo, Xpeng, Yangwang and Zeekr, just to name a few. But even with renewed consumer confidence in China, the future seems clear. There are simply too many Chinese car makers. One estimate says that there are nearly 100 car makers in China right now. When things settle down, only about a dozen are expected to remain. In an already crowded market, too many cars and dropping demand are causing price wars and copycat designs. Many manufacturers are copying the look and feel of rival European brands. Success in the US market will be crucial for many of these car makers, but they face significant challenges. More on that below. A great example of this copying is the Fangcheng Bao Super 9 Roadster from BYD. It looks like a mix between an ETAL design Aztec and an SLR McLaren Sterling Moss supercar. From the back, the Yangwang U9 seems to be inspired by the Porsche 911 and Audi R8, while the Zeekr Mix EV takes design ideas from VW's popular ID Buzz. Although Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Volkswagen, Toyota and Mazda also attended the show, it was mostly focused on domestic models that will only be sold in China. Given that China has so many car makers, leads the world in car production and sales, and is ahead in EV battery, AI, and self-driving tech, it's puzzling that none of these innovations are available in the United States yet. It's like a strange parallel universe. To put it simply, China's shaking up the car industry and leading the way on the western side of the Pacific Ocean. Meanwhile, on the eastern side, America's still trying to catch up. So why is it tough for Chinese car makers to sell in America? It's not about price or sales taxes. The main issue is that they don't have dealer networks in the US. Chinese automakers lack distribution channels in the country. While Geely-owned Volvo has a small presence, most other Chinese car makers have to build their sales networks from scratch. Even though Chinese EVs are around $20,000 cheaper on average, they'd still need to set up dealer networks and build batteries and cars locally. This is necessary to take advantage of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, which offers a $7,500 tax credit for products made in the US. Since most Chinese models seen in Beijing will likely never reach the US, what matters for the international car industry are the new solid-state batteries, plug-in hybrids with a range of 1,250 miles, and EVs sold in China for the equivalent of $7,500. These developments show that making an affordable EV is possible. For comparison, the lowest priced EV available in America right now is the Nissan Leaf, starting at $29,255. How Chinese cars will be received in the US soon seems to depend on the outcome of the upcoming presidential election. Donald Trump has already said that if Chinese companies build cars in Mexico, he'll impose a 100% tariff on all those cars coming into the US. American automakers see Chinese electric cars as a major threat, even though Chinese branded cars aren't yet available to the United States. Why does it matter? Well, for major companies like Ford and General Motors, affordable Chinese cars are seen as another big disruption, similar to what Tesla caused. The big picture is that the whole industry is concerned about what Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares called the China offensive. Companies that can't compete with China's low-cost electric vehicles are expected to face serious problems, according to Tavares. Even Tesla CEO Elon Musk's worried. He's warned that without trade barriers, Chinese automakers will demolish their global competitors. Also, China's the largest and fastest growing car market in the world. Chinese cars used to be poorly made, however, with strong government support and access to cheaper batteries and labour, the country now produces attractive and affordable models. For example, the Seagull EV from BYD costs less than $11,000, and BYD is the world's top seller of EVs and plug-in hybrids. But Chinese automakers built too many factories. This has pushed them to seek growth in foreign markets like Europe. The US could be the next target, as there's a big opportunity for affordable EVs. This is true even with the tough Trump-era tariffs on Chinese cars. Ford, GM and others see the challenges ahead and are changing their strategies and cutting budgets to stay competitive. Even Tesla is trying hard to keep up with low-cost Chinese manufacturers. The company is cutting prices and working on developing a cheaper EV by 2025. Ford's expecting ongoing big losses in its EV division. One analyst estimates that the company will lose around $55,000 on each EV it sells this year. The company's cutting $2 billion in spending and focusing less on electric SUVs. Instead, it's shifting towards smaller, more affordable EVs. Ford CEO Jim Farley recently revealed a secret project to develop a flexible, low-cost EV platform. Jim Farley told analysts in a recent call that all of Ford's EV teams are intensely focused on reducing costs and improving efficiency. The main competition is expected to be affordable Teslas and Chinese automakers. Meanwhile, after claiming for years that it was fully committed to EVs, GM now plans to introduce plug-in hybrid vehicles in North America. This is to meet emissions targets while fully electric sales gradually increase. GM CEO Mary Barra mentioned in a recent call with analysts that no competitor, including those from China, is being discounted. Like Ford, GM's also cutting costs by $2 billion. The interesting part is these cost cuts will also affect their traditional gas vehicles. Instead of complete redesigns, gasoline models will likely receive simpler and cheaper updates, such as a new grille or headlights. Lineups will be simplified with fewer options and more standard equipment in different trim levels. GM plans to save $200 million this year by removing more than 100 options. Ford will save $10 million by cutting a rarely used automated parking feature, according to COO Kumar Galhotra. Chinese cars were already being sent to Mexico, and companies like BYD are looking at setting up plants there. This could make Mexico a gateway for Chinese cars to enter the US market. Also, Detroit's faced similar challenges before with Japanese and Korean rivals, who met the need for affordable, efficient cars and were eventually accepted by consumers. The China challenge hasn't fully arrived yet, but the threat's already shaking things up in America. So the rise of Chinese automakers represents a significant shift in the global car industry. Despite their cars not being widely available in the US yet, their impact is being felt across the market. Chinese companies backed by strong government support and access to cheap resources are producing affordable and innovative electric vehicles. This has led American automakers like Ford and GM to reassess their strategies and cut costs to stay competitive. This could pose a new challenge for American car makers who faced similar competition from Japanese and Korean brands in the past. The current situation mirrors past industry disruptions when new entrants have transformed the market. The potential for Chinese automakers to shake up the industry is real, and American companies must adapt to remain relevant. Do you also think the same? Let us know in the comments. Also, hit the like and subscribe button to watch such exciting content.